However English football views this week, Tony Woodcock will certainly look back on it as the week in which he scored a hat-trick in a spell of 14 minutes during his international debut. He was playing, of course, for the England under-21 side against Finland. And for John Robertson, the success of Scotland offers a clear chance of a trip to Argentina. He's certainly one of the players not yet in the squad who will be closely looked at by Scotland's manager, Ali MacLeod, in the coming weeks. Already we've got the best crowd of the season here at the City Ground, and that's the Nottingham Forest side at full strength and no place as yet in the starting lineup for Archie Gamble. There were doubts this morning about Martin O'Neill, who was injured in the match against Holland playing for Northern Ireland, but those have cleared up. Manchester City are without Dave Watson, who had to be substituted in Luxembourg because of a calf strain. So Mike Doyle comes back into the side and wears the number 5 shirt. And in that lineup, two more of the England under-21 players, Peter Barnes and Gary Owen. The referee this afternoon is Derek Lloyd of Fernhill Heath in Worcestershire. A mild, sunny afternoon for what Nottingham Forest feel is an ideal test of their right to be where they are, the league leaders of the First Division. It's Kenny Burns setting an early dummy. Nottingham Forest in red shirts and white shorts attacking the goal to our left. Manchester City in second place wearing their all-blue strip. Mike Doyle, their skipper, getting himself back into defence before Forest are in possession of the ball for the throw. Colin Barrett with the throw. Hewitt. Offside given against McShannon. And he was only about 6 yards into the Forest half. Hartford. Free kick given against Lloyd. Shannon. Good turn. Good advantage play by the referee. Hewitt taking on Barrett. Can try again. Robertson helping out. On by Woodcock to With. First Division's top scorer. McGovern again, good advantage play by the referee. Here's Woodcock. O'Neill far side, With in the middle. Owen. Hartford. Shannon the furthest forward for Manchester City in the inside left position. Forest with all back bar 2, Woodcock and With. Here's Kidd. Power. We've already seen quite a lot of Paul Power's left foot. Surely is a message for Nottingham Forest. Allowed him the space to hit some crosses. And they have again. But no danger. With. Loose one from With. Kidd. With gets back to make the tackle. Shannon. Burns at his back. Corner. for Booth. Kidd! And by no means for the first time, Tommy Booth has made his presence felt from a set piece. Brian Kidd, the scorer, 21 minutes gone. Booth meeting it, Kidd turning on it, Shilton right in front of him. 1-0 to Manchester City. Bowyer. Booth in defence. McGovern. Doyle. Hartford. Brian Kidd's third league goal of the season. Forest have so far dropped just 1 point on their own ground. That was to Norwich City. Hartford. A flick by Kidd, and he was caught by Lloyd, for which Lloyd will be booked. Derek Lloyd, absolutely right to book his namesake. Challenge from behind, caught the ankle, Kidd played it off first time and caught the player coming in from behind. And it looks as though With has been booked as well for something said. He's liable to feel the strength of Brian Clough's remarks for being booked for that, as might well Lloyd for being booked for the tackle. Skill cannot thrive with such tackles around, that's for sure. Shannon. O'Neill. Burns. Loose one from Burns. Woodcock. O'Neill. With. One-point difference, of course, between these two sides. There's O'Neill. Donachie. Barnes. With and Booth. Possibility of a long throw. Back by With. O'Neill. Oh, yeah, they're all in each other's way. Terrible scramble, but there were three Forest players who in the end balked each other. Bowyer, O'Neill, Woodcock, and then With. It's With again. McGovern. With. Booth, who put it out. Sharp spell of pressure from Nottingham Forest. Lloyd up in the 6-yard box. One by Burns. Oh, that's a fine save. That really was a fine save by Corrigan. Burns arrived late on the scene, got up well, headed down with some power, and Corrigan killed it. Shannon. Donachie. Mistake by Donachie, followed a mistake by Doyle. Still Robertson, must be Woodcock. Tony Woodcock, the scorer. His 4th league goal of the season goes to speak to Robertson, who made it after mistakes, first by Doyle, then by Donachie. Robertson, with a lovely shimmy inside and then out, just pushed it through, and Woodcock just had to apply the finishing touch. 33 minutes gone, 1-1 the score. Mix up between Owen and Kidd, and a foul by Booth. O'Neill. Anderson outside. 4 in the area. Good challenge by Tuart. Shannon. Owen. Very good early ball. Peter Barnes in possession. Still Barnes. Rasping drive. Yes, and it was close enough for him to react like that. There's a slight nick on it, and it came back to him, as it were, and he really thumped it. The last action of an interesting first half. And the players come off with the match finely poised at 1-1. Forest now attacking the goal to our right. Peter With prepared to set the game in motion again. Very different player, Peter With, from the player that was seen at Barrow and Southport and Birmingham and Wolverhampton. Scored 23 goals in 44.5 games for Nottingham Forest. Peter Shilton. Well, it was a year ago yesterday that he scored a goal at Southampton. With Robertson. Bowyer's going into the middle. Here's O'Neill. Oh dear, he let it bounce, and it bounced away from him. And once it had bounced, really the shot wasn't on. Went away from him. He tried to kill it, but from the angle that he had absolutely no chance. Ball was never under his control. Kidd. Shannon, pushed by Burns, cost him, and the referee, I think, will take the card out for that, because that denied Shannon the run-through. Kidd went to talk to the referee. Shannon the player down. But no question, a booking for Anderson. Shannon was in on goal, and Anderson took him right out of the play with no attempt to play the ball. Kidd getting on the end of the wall. Owen standing in front of it. Kidd shot. Kidd shot. It was Shannon across on the end of the wall. With. Oh, that's a nice header by Bowyer. Here's With. Woodcock up. O'Neill. Line by Doyle. Gave him a chance by putting it in the air. Doyle covering the near post. Had the chance. O'Neill steadied himself that time. Put it in the air. Doyle coming across, headed away. Punch by Corrigan. Here's McGovern. O'Neill giving himself the angle. Well blocked by Clements. Use at the back by With to turn Donachie. Hartford, Donachie, with O'Neill. Bowyer making a run in the inside left position. O'Neill holding it. Still O'Neill. McGovern. Woodcock. Real steamroller in on Corrigan. Did well to the keeper, and it was very well struck. Anderson. O'Neill. Shannon's tackle. O'Neill, Anderson behind him. Lloyd still up in the area. Here's McGovern, who dropped back. O'Neill again. Good distribution by McGovern. Good clearance by Shannon from the left-back position. Barnes and Burns. And the U beats the A. Bowyer with Bowyer, picked up nicely. Still Bowyer. More an attacking force in this half. Kidd. Shannon. Well-timed challenge by Burns. And the whistle goes. So to be taken again. Nottingham Forest making a substitution. 12 minutes left. Martin O'Neill comes off and Archie Gemmell goes on. Donachie. Shilton doing well. Both he and Power hurt in that exchange. One head, one knee. Offside decision, I think, was against Kidd. Here's Robertson. With Bowyer. Too long. Woodcock, Gemmell runs for Woodcock, with him, Robertson outside, with pulling to the middle. Oh, With took it right off Woodcock's toe. Oh, and he scored! What an extraordinary goal! Goal number 10 in the league for Peter With. It bounced a number of times before going over the line. It seemed as though he'd done it all wrong by taking it off Woodcock's toe. Turned, and while everybody waited, he sent a daisy cutter in past Joe Corrigan. 4 minutes left, and Manchester City, whose preoccupation had become the saving of the 1 point that they had, are now in danger of having come to Nottingham and going away with nothing. They've got to come back in 4 minutes. Foul by Bowyer, which was rather silly. Manchester City's attitude contributory in the way the balance of the game was turning. Hartford on the ball. Burns with a header. Shannon shots. And if Forest hang on to this lead, the gap between these two teams will be 3 points. Forest popular support now predictably shouting, we're going to win the league. Here's Doyle. Chase for Woodcock. Clements equal to it. Bowyer. And Nottingham Forest have passed the test of their right to be there, and they stay there. Not the best goal that Peter With will ever score, but the decisive goal at 2-1, 4 minutes from time. Manchester City, in the end, contributing to their own downfall by settling for the 1 point, and Peter With deciding the afternoon to the delight of the local populace.